Waddle. Former wide receiver for the Chicago Bears.
The guy's amazing.
1989 All-Madden team and afternoon co-host on ESPN Chicago.
I think he's going to start at least 8 games in the National Football League next year for a team that's going to give him a chance.
It's Waddle Wednesday with Tom Waddle.
Listen, I got a pedicure in an hour. When I get back here, the wheels better be spinning, all right?
On Kap J Hood, ESPN Chicago.
The oldest brewery in America.
Good morning, Tommy. How are you?
Delightful. Anytime I get a chance to spend the morning with you guys, it's a good day.
Tommy, outstanding stuff. You sent us a breakdown of a play in the red zone where, as you put it on your tape to us, beautifully designed by Ben Johnson, and Caleb just doesn't see the development of the play, and he's got, I think it's Rome, wide open for a touchdown. Can that get better?
Yeah, it can. It has to. I apologize for the crude nature of it, but when I sat down, I wanted to, instead of talking you through it, I wanted to show it to you. And I know it's radio, so the only two you guys saw it. But this is an example. What I was trying to highlight with you more than anything is this coach is fabulous. Like, they go into the bye, guys, and they can't run a lick. They come out of the bye, they run for 145 and 222. Like, I got a problem. I need to find a solution. That's what coaching's all about. Did the same thing on defense. I just want to show you, like, kind of how you can dictate policy to a team with formation and motion. And if you don't get the look you want using the motion you have, then you go to a different play. But what I wanted to show you is a situation where the coach is putting the quarterback in a really good situation, and then it's up to the player to actually execute. So I think that's where we're at now. Look, the team, I'm thrilled because they're winning at the line of scrimmage. I think I said this to you guys last week, and they're winning games with their most important player not playing his best. So your hope is that you maintain the level of play from your defense. I don't know if you're going to get 4 takeaways a game, but they're more solid than they have been. Edmonds and Edwards are playing lights out right now. I don't know that the two of them have ever played better, especially in a Bears uniform. And their offensive line is coming together like a group of 5 that has played together for a long time. And your tight ends are blocking and your wide receivers are blocking. At some point, you're going to need the quarterback. I heard you guys having the conversation the other day. At some point, you're going to need the quarterback to be the one dragging everyone with him. So, and I'm confident that will happen. I'm not sitting here trying to, berate anybody. It's just, maybe it's this weekend where Caleb needs to be the guy that has the best game, and the running game doesn't click the way it did against the Saints. That's just the nature of the game.
Tommy, what is Theo Benedict doing that Braxton Jones could not to keep this offensive line solid?
Well, Jonathan, I hate to say it, but he looked a lot like Braxton Jones in this last game. Mm-hmm. He had his hands full. Who's the
Cam Jordan?
No. It wasn't Jordan that was across from him. It was the kid that was from Ohio State that we all liked for a while. He went to Washington, and we all thought,
oh, Chase Young.
Yes, Chase Young had his hands full with him. He got walked back into Caleb's lap 2 or 3 times. He again, like if this had been Braxton Jones, we'd all be screaming at each other this morning. We need to make a change at left tackle. But it was his second start. He also had a couple of false start penalties. But overall, Jonathan, I just think that if that's his worst game, you're going to be okay. There's still, look, he didn't play very, very well. I'm no offensive line expert. You still ran for 222. So I just think that they're working as a team together. It's just, instead of being 5 different individuals running 5 different schemes, which is what it looked like the first couple of weeks, they're all kind of in tune. You're also, what they're doing too is not to get too much into the weeds, but like the Saints tried to take away their passing game. The Saints looked at them and go, okay, you ran it for 145 last week. We still think you're more dangerous throwing it. So we're going to sit back and play light boxes and sit back and cover 2 and take away your passing game because you've got some really explosive weapons. Go ahead and run it and prove that you can. And they did just that. So, again, scheming, player execution, a lot of it was just, it all worked.
Tommy, in terms of their ability against the Ravens, who don't have Matabuke, their outstanding interior defender. He's out for the year with a neck injury. But they do have some players. They get Roquan back. I look at this game, it's a game that Caleb has to, in my opinion, if they're going to win, Caleb, you take the next step. You go, whoa, Caleb Williams was magnificent today. That's how I think they win this game.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to need that at some point. Is it going to be against the Ravens? It could be. Like, they've been an injured, hot mess dumpster fire on defense. Like, they haven't had any of their guys, but they've done nothing. Like, nothing. They're dead last in scoring defense. They give up 32 points per game. They allow 4.5 yards per carry. I believe they only have 8 sacks. They've taken it away just 3 times. So, like, they've given up 37 or more points in 4 of their 6 games. Now, you're right, Cap. They're getting guys back. But you should be able to, if you're clicking, should be able to move the ball on that. I think you should be able to score points. Now, are the Ravens fully healthy and in desperation mode also going to score points? I can see that scenario unfolding as well. But, I look, you didn't need Caleb to have a huge game the last couple of weeks. He played very well against the Dallas Cowboys. If he has a Cowboy game against the Ravens, it obviously gives you a much better chance of winning on the road.
I'd rather have what Caleb Williams is trying to do, Tommy, than what I saw from Spencer Rattler. There's some things I tell Cap all the time from watching Caleb Williams at USC. There's sometimes that he regresses back to college where he's just trying to squirm his way out of trouble, out of pressure, or just zones in and locks in on one receiver. We saw that with the interception. All he cared about was getting the ball to Rome. All he cared about. Like, instead of just going 1, 2, 3 or a run, he wanted to just lock in on one receiver, and he got killed for it. And that's the other thing, too. I know that you and Sylvie talked about it, and we talked about it here. I don't know why the water has been cut off by Caleb of not running the football, by his own volition. Like, that's part of the offense. I like to see him run with the football some.
Yeah, I'm with you because he's good at it, and his decision-making. I just think he had a bad day. He didn't play quick. His decision-making wasn't good, and it's not just in throwing the ball. But you're right, Jonathan. There are moments where take advantage of your athleticism. Instead of trying to zip that ball into a tight window 20 yards down the field on the run, take the 7-yard gain and just slide. And he's done that really, really well. So I thought that this game was a little bit out of character. I thought he had been playing quicker and making better decisions. And this is just one of those days where, we all have bad days. And I think that, as of right now, that's how I would classify it. I wouldn't make any grand statements about it. I would say, hey, watch the film, learn from it, look at these mistakes, and then throw that thing in a brush fire and don't look at it again.
So what concerns you the most about this game? Let's assume Lamar plays. We'll know a lot more if he practices today. Didn't on Monday, day off yesterday. If Lamar doesn't practice today, well, then I think it's safe to say he's in real jeopardy of not being available. But what concerns you about the matchup?
You have probably the most desperate team in the National Football League that has got as high a pedigree as anyone in the league over the course of recent years. They've averaged 12 wins a season the last 3 years. They've been to the postseason 6 of the last 7 years. They're extremely well coached. Their roster is talented. They've just been banged up and haven't really excelled. So I don't mean to – I'm not trying to evade your question, Cap, but it's that – when this team is desperate and they've got their horses, I envision them being a hard team to beat. Like Derrick Henry's still running for 5 yards a carry. When you hit him, you better hold on.
Yeah, he's a monster.
They're getting Ricard back, who, I know the fullback is not appreciated in today's game, but he does a really good job of creating space. Lamar, I think the question is, I think Lamar's going to play. How healthy is he? Because if he's 75%, then their running game becomes more defensible. If he's 100%, then they become more of an issue. But people, you look at their record guys and you're like, oh, the Ravens have stunk. Lamar has played very good in the 4 years, very well in the 4 games he played. Like, he's got a 10-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. He's completing 72% of his passes. and got a 130 quarterback rating. He was playing really well before the hamstring injury against the Chiefs.
Really good player.
It's a Waddle Wednesday brought to you by WindowWorks, the company your neighbors trust. Tommy, when was the first time that you met Michael Jordan?
Oh, wow. That's a question I should be able to answer, Jonathan. But
That's right.
Yeah, you were an investor in his restaurant.
yeah, I was.
You did a commercial, I remember, with him.
I told the story. There was some bar, like on west of Wacker on Lake Street back in the day. I was there with a friend, and Michael was there with his group, and his bodyguard came over to me and he was like, "Hey, Mike wants to say hi. Come on over. He wants you to say hi." And this was after I was done playing, but think about that. I'm probably 28, 29 years old at the time, and Michael Jordan wants you to come over and say hi. You float over there. The first time I met him was probably at some Chicago sports profile event or something. It was probably in passing. But then, I was an investor. My wife and I were investors in his restaurant. I got a nice picture with Michael. That's probably the first time I ever really had any meaningful conversation with him, Jonathan.
But he didn't recognize you, so like you said, you floated over. Yeah, that made you feel good.
Yeah, look, I'm a grown-ass man, and I'm still blushing because, another guy wants him to come over and wants me to say hello to him. So, and it lasted 5 minutes, and, it was cool, but, yeah, it was, he's the greatest of all time. There's something about him that is just different than, I'm nearing 60, and when I see him, even in clips, it kind of still, I'm like, wow, that's Michael Jordan.
I met Tommy
It's
Waddle.
pretty amazing.
I met Tommy Waddle, and I took it personally.
No, he's not saying
Yeah.
that.
Hey,
I had a pretty interesting run for a while, guys, because I got a chance to have access to them because I did the show Bull Sox Underground. So I would do, Jonathan, once every 3 weeks, I'd do a book report with Phil Jackson. He'd actually do it. Mm-hmm. And at the Berto Center, there was this area outside his office that kind of looked out over the court. We would sit there in these 2 leather chairs, and he'd do a book report. I got a chance to interview Dennis Rodman in full wedding gown attire.
oh, God.
I was like, yeah, I got the opportunity to do some stuff that was really kind of crazy and cool.
Yeah, absolutely crazy and cool. In terms of Michael today, he was on the NBA show yesterday with Tirico, who's a regular all the time with you and Sylvie, and I always enjoy his interviews with you guys.
He's great.
And he said, do you go out and pick up a ball and go out and hoop?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that clip on social media. It's the legend of Michael Jordan continues to grow, right?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. He hadn't touched the ball in years until the Ryder Cup.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that? It makes for a good story, but you don't think Michael's just picked up a basketball and shot, tried to make a three at some point?
No, I don't think he did.
I think that he's real comfortable in his retirement and with his lifestyle that he doesn't feel like he has to pick up a basketball. I actually believe that.
Do you?
How can you pick up a basketball when you got a cigar in your yap 24 hours a day?
And a golf club in your hand.
And a golf club and a nice drink.
Yeah.
A seat at a blackjack table, too. You can't play basketball there.
No. So I actually do believe. I think he's comfortable.
But I was shocked that he said he got nervous.
I kind of believe that. If you haven't played in a while, you just don't want to. Last thing he wants is to embarrass himself.
Yeah. And as he was kind of describing, the person he rented the house from had, told these young kids the legend of Michael Jordan. The last thing he wanted to do was step up and airball a free throw.
Yeah, Hoodie. I think. Do we have that?
We
Hoodie?
do.
Play that for him. It shocked me.
Some thoughts here from Michael Jordan on the NBA on NBC.
Do you ever pick up a ball and just shoot?
I haven't picked up a ball in years.
No, come on. Just walk past. There's got to be a hoop somewhere at your place.
You don't see a hoop anywhere around here, right?
I don't.
It's a
seriously,
reason.
the last time you picked up a basketball and shot it?
I was at the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
And I rented a house from the owner.
Sure.
He came over to do pictures. He had grandkids. And I was meet and greet and thank him for allowing me to stay in the house. And he had a basketball court. He says, I want you to shoot one free throw. I said, really? And I already paid for the house. It's not like he got to see me. So when I stepped up to shoot the free throw, it's the most nervous I've been in years.
Stop it.
In years.
Stop it. Come on.
And reason being is those kids heard the stories from the parents about what I did 30 years ago.
Right.
So their expectation is 30 years prior, and I haven't touched the basketball.
I hope you swished it.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I got the most gratifying, that made my whole week, is that I was able to please that kid, not knowing if I could.
my brother texts me. He's like, okay, that's weird. And I'm like, no, that's who he is.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how people would be like, come on. Like, I'm not thinking he's out there playing pickup basketball, but I would assume at one of his estates, doesn't he have an outdoor basketball court that maybe a basketball rolled in front of him, he picked up and he took a shot? But you guys are right. Like, when you live in the good life and you have a drink in one hand and a golf club in the other and a cigar in your mouth, then you don't have time to shoot a basketball.
I believe he didn't want to embarrass himself. That's one.
Yeah,
I just think it's hard for you to shoot that free throw when your hands are shaking for the night before.
Wow.
So
I think Hoodie agrees with me. I don't know about you, Tommy. I think it's one of the great tragedies in the history of our sports culture here in Chicago that dude has not come back to the town, that the Bulls have no relationship with him, that he and Jerry seem to be, maybe they're not enemies, but there's no relationship
it's
whatsoever.
unfortunate.
It's one of the great tragedies in the history of Chicago sports.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very, very unfortunate because he was the greatest at what he did and is an icon even from not even an arm's length away, from 1,000 miles away. He's still revered and worshipped. So, yeah, I agree. I mean, it's sad. But I don't know the ins and outs of why it never really, that relationship off the court after playing didn't really materialize. My guess is the story is Michael can hold a grudge a little bit, right? That listen, when you don't give them an opportunity to come back and do things the way they did, why would he want to continue to be part of what you're doing?
Yeah.
Tommy, have a wonderful Wednesday.
You guys as well. Thanks for having me, fellas.
You're the best, Tommy.
Peace.